So my name's Catherine. I write poetry and I write nonfiction. And today I brought a piece of a memoir, which is, I guess, a memory that I'm working on about my father, who lived to be 93, lived to be ripe 93, and passed away about 7 years ago. And so I've been doing a lot of writing about him. So it's kind of sad, but it's kind of happy because he lived a nice long life. So this is a section of when my father is in the hospital when he first becomes very ill. I don't think he's had a stroke, the doctor says, but we're going to take a CAT scan just in case. He makes ink scratches on Dad's chart and exits the hospital room, the tails of his white lab coat flapping about like wings of a white bird landing. What? Dad says. His hearing aids are out and he cannot make the sounds into words, and his hands shake from his tremor, and he fumbles with the straps on his oxygen mask, and he says, "Too many things on my head." He searches his head with fingers that shake like legs on a poisoned spider. His lungs are thick with pneumonia, and blood is sticky with infection, and morphine dilutes his blood. He cannot understand all the straps and tubes or the illuminated lines of the monitors that he is reaching for with his shaking fingers. I smooth the straps of the mask that look like a fighter pilot's mask so they don't pull against his delicate skin as thin as rice paper. I am almost afraid to touch him. I'm afraid not to, as if the heat from his skin and the fever will somehow calm me like a balm. Now his eyes vibrate like a plucked guitar string. Back and forth they jerk like a frightened dog's. He says there are birds on his bed and horses too. He says there are men with guns. He tells me about a movie about women captured in the war, but maybe he says he didn't see it after all. Maybe it was a dream. He can't really tell. His hair is whiter than just a few weeks ago. His hair has grown out since retirement more than 30 years ago. No more high and tight FBI man's haircut that Hoover's era dictated. His hair is silver and fine like alpaca wool. There's a wave to it I never noticed when it was shorn short. Half of his face is hidden from me, distorted through the plastic. Has anyone bothered to brush his hair since he arrived at the hospital a week ago? I smooth it with my hand. His eyes look upward. There is new sweat and oil on his scalp, and I think of Sunday fumes when he would gather our hairbrushes and soak them in water and soap and ammonia in the sink of the upstairs bathroom. Oil and dander that floated on the water's surface. I wonder what settled on his lungs that kick-started this pulmonary fibrosis. Dad is sure it's all those cigarettes from World War II. It could have been some microscopic anything that breached his lungs and started the scarring. Dust from charcoal briquettes, concrete dust, ammonia vapors. I tell him the doctor's ordered a CAT scan. He says, "How does the cat feel about it?" I say he'd like a juicy mouse in exchange. He says, I would have held out for a nice juicy rat. His eyes look crazy in their quick flitting. He rolls the R's, perhaps imitating his grandparents' German. He speaks in broken German words I don't know. "Ja," I say, and he turns hard and angry. He shakes his finger at me and yells, "I don't like you." The sudden switch, he, a stranger, renders me off balance, as if I'm walking backwards on a tightrope I have no business walking on. He folds his fingers and he turns his right hand into a gun, and he tells me he has to shoot me. Not knowing what to say, I back away and I say, "I guess I'll be going." And he whimpers and he says, "No, please don't leave me." He reaches for me with both hands. He motions me closer, winding his hands like he's winding twine. Bad blood is running over his lungs. Dirty hairbrushes clean his blood with ammonia. I would like to make everything good as new. I can't do anything for him. He wants to know if I see the puppies and frogs at the foot of his bed. He kicks his feet and he tries to rearrange his feet, and he brings his knees closer to his chest. Morphine and the strangeness of this hospital place. Everything that is going on in his brain and bloodstream. On the other side of his room, the atomic clock he's brought from home balances awkwardly on the chair rail and ticks away digital minutes, numerals that can be seen easily by my father there in his hospital bed. He points to the silver box and reminds me how accurate it is, but he can't remember the numbers that make it so. 2 weeks ago, before pneumonia, he could tell me it will only lose 1 second in 15 billion years. And I'm thinking, where will any of us be in that much time? Second or no second, why do we need to be so accurate? For trips to the moon, for voyages to Saturn, why do we buy these devices that keep us on time? Is my daddy impressed by accuracy or by the speed at which his time is passing? Daddy holds his arm up, wants to know where his wristwatch is. I shake my head. My daddy is on fire. My daddy is a rocket re-entering Earth's atmosphere and hell-bent on home. He wants to go home. When can you please go home? He says he'll be stronger than ever, and he drifts into something not quite sleep as a man dressed in green scrubs, pulling a gurney, comes for my father to scan his disheveled head. Thank you.